fellow constitutionalists. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the gas attacks that happened over in Syria a couple days ago. And I want to show you a timeline. That puts in perspective what happened last year, right after President Trump came into office, and what he had to deal with as far as Syria and what President Obama left him with in Syria. And what's happening today, almost exactly a year later, what's happening again today. And I keep seeing all these reports on the news, about Manis is, they're preparing a package. President Trump seems to be backing away from that a little bit today. And there's other people out there that want us to stay in Syria, want us to go through some of the war hawks in the Republican Party. And it just, my mind just swims when I think about everything that's going on here in Syria. And, I was told if we leave Syria now that we're going to show weakness with Russia. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We should have never been there to begin with. We really don't have that many troops in there. We only have specialists in there right now, as far as what I know. We're not showing any weakness with Russia. We're just being smart and getting the heck out of a quagmire over in the Middle East that the rebels, and this I'll say this right now, that the rebels want us to stay there because the rebels want Assad out. Now, Obama and his administration, the Democrats supported him, wanted regime change. I mean, they did it in Libya with Gaddafi, and they wanted to do it in Syria with Assad. And one of the reasons I think Assad, the UN, the New World Order, whoever you want to say, I don't want to go into conspiracy theories here, but those behind the scenes wanted Assad out because he wasn't playing their game, wasn't playing their game at all. And you can't forget Israel's in the mix here also. You can't forget about Israel. So I just want to show you this timeline real quick. It's fairly short. It isn't super long. I'm going to read most of it to you. And this actually comes from moonofalabama.org. It's a blog. I found it over at antiwar.com. I think it's is it antiwar.com or is it antiwar? Yeah, antiwar.com. It's a website I go to, and it's really got a good perspective on foreign policy and what we're doing in these different places as far as the war goes and stuff like that. So, Syria's timeline of gas attacks follow a similar scene. And they posted this on April 8th of this year. An alleged new chemical incident in Syria reminds of a similar series of events we saw last year. We are told to believe that each time the U.S. pulls back from the war in Syria, the Syrian government is responding with a chemical attack that pulls us back in. And this year, same as last year, America was saying we're going to pull out. Assad had the rebels on the run, and what happened? There was a chemical attack. Couldn't be confirmed. Most of the experts, the UN, UK, other experts out there said this was not a chemical attack by Assad. This was what they call a false flag to try to keep America in the mix of things. So back in March 30th of 2017, U.S. priority on Syria no longer focused on getting Assad out. This is what Nikki Haley was telling the UN and Reuters and stuff like that. So back in March 30th, instead of staying in the quagmire that the Obama administration had gotten us into, President Trump wanted to pull us out of that. April 4th, suspected gas attack in Syria reportedly kills dozens. Now this is from this is a CNN report here. The suspected gas attack in Syria reportedly kills dozens. April 7th, 2017, Trump launches attack on Syria with 59 Tomahawk missiles. Something on the campaign trail that he said he wouldn't do, and he turned around and said he did it. Didn't say it, he actually did it. April 10th, 2017, U.S. envoy Nikki Haley says Syria regime change is inevitable. They said at that time it's inevitable. Now, this blog writer says that the Khan Shaykhun incident had been faked. An international investigation found And there's links all through this article. You can go, and this person really did a good job. Now, there's another blog post from Moon of Alabama that actually has more links in it about this. That half the alleged casualties arrived in hospitals before the incident was said to have happened. Nothing followed after Haley's last announcement. The administration was apparently not willing to go beyond the one-off strike. The flip-flop was attributed to confusion or infighting within the Trump administration. And I'm also going to include a link down below, a One American News Network documentary called White Hats. I believe that's what it's called. Look for that link down below, and they had a documentary on the first attack and the first responders and everything there and some of the shady stuff that was going on. And that's all in the mix here. Now, up to date, a year later, the exact same development we've observed, or can be observed. March 29, 2018, Trump says U.S. will withdraw from Syria very soon. I wish they would quit telegraphing this stuff. He's no different than any other modern president here where they want to telegraph what they're doing to the enemy and to the world. If we're going to pull the troops out, let's just do it. Quit telling everybody we're going to do it. Just do it and let them figure out what's going on, right? April 7th, 2018, Syria poison gas attack kills at least 40 activists and medics say. The poison gas attack late Saturday on a rebel-held town near Syria's capital has killed at least 40 people, activists, rescuers, and medics said. Now, before I go any further, make sure you have your logic thinking hat on and your common sense mixed in there somewhere as we go through this. April 7th also, U.S. State Department on the chemical attack in Douma. We continue to closely follow disturbing reports on April 7th regarding another alleged chemical weapon attack, this time targeting a hospital in Douma, Syria. Reports from the number of contacts and medical personnel on the ground indicate a potentially high number of casualties, including among families hiding in shelters. These reports, if confirmed, are horrifying and demand immediate response by the international community. The next day, April 8th, President Trump, many dead, including women and children, in mindless chemical attack in Syria. Area of atrocity is in lockdown and encircled by Syrian army, making it completely inaccessible to the outside world. President Putin, Russia, and Iran are responsible for backing Animal Assad. Big price to pay. Open area immediately for medical help and verification. Another humanitarian disaster for no reason whatsoever. Sick. Now here's a map of the area here. It's not real clear on this posting, but it's the Battle of Douma and how the Syrian army has them surrounded. Over the last months, the Syrian army secured 90% of the rebel enclave in East Ghouta, right next to the Syrian capital of Damascus. Only the town of Douma, held by the Saudi-financed Salafist Takrifis of Jaish al-Islam, was left in enemy hands. Negotiations about an evacuation of the terrorists were ongoing. At one point last week, the hardcore leaders of Jaish pulled their negotiators back from the talks and reportedly executed them. Jaish wanted to essentially stay in place and keep all of its weapons. The Russian negotiators did not agree with this. On Friday, the negotiations failed. Barrages of missiles and grenades from Douma hit Damascus. The rebels supporting Syrian Observatory reported of several killed in Damascus and dozens wounded. The Syrian army hit back with intensive airstrikes and artillery fire on Douma. The terrorists in Douma hold several thousands of hostages who were abducted in 2013 from the town of Adra. The prisoners were paraded around in cages, and the abducted men were forced to dig the extensive tunnel network Jaish uses to hide its weapons and fighters. 2 years ago, Jaish admitted that it used chemical weapons against a Kurdish suburb in Aleppo. Just 2 days ago, the Russian military command said that it detected rebel preparations for new false flag gas attacks. Now the terrorists and their supporters claim that a new chemical weapon attack happened and blame the Syrian government. A video of the alleged gas attack aftermath shows a basement with 30 dead children between 2 and 10 years old. They seem to have suffocated, and in the blog post they're surmising here, probably from carbon monoxide. Astonishingly, there is no dead women or men and only children under 10. Russia, which has observers on the ground, rejects any claims of Syrian government involvement in the incident. It is quite obvious that the chemical weapons attack is a false flag event. The terrorists commit the crime and blame the Syrian government. They want the U.S. to attack the Syrian government. Will Trump fall for the stunt and attack Syria, or had he and his minions planned this series of events all along? Again, it may sound like I'm slipping into the realm of conspiracy theory, but I'm really not. If you go through the timeline, and they make some assumptions here, but if you go through the timeline and you use some logic and common sense, if 90% of the rebels have been contained by the Syrian army, what benefit is there of Assad and his Syrian army to gas anybody? And if you were going to gas somebody, especially your enemies, wouldn't you just blanket the whole area? Not just some puny little attack that killed like 40 people? I'm not saying that the people that died in this, in my opinion, is a false flag. I mean, common sense and logic will tell you that the rebels did this to try to keep America in. And I think if Trump falls for this, he's going to disappoint a lot of his supporters out there. He really will. And it would be unfortunate if he did this. It really would. And so, remember, we shouldn't be there to begin with. The rebels, and during the Obama administration, we were supporting the rebels with arms and munitions. A lot of that got taken by ISIS and was used by ISIS against us and the rebel forces. And we're just cleaning up a mess that a previous administration got us into. You know, and I keep seeing these memes out there that President Obama had no scandals and nothing went wrong under his administration. And this is a big boo-boo. As far as I'm concerned, big mistake that we were in Syria at all. That we're lobbing missiles in there or have any boots on the ground in Syria. And we do have some, not many, but we do have some. I think we just need to quit telegraphing that we're pulling them out, get them out of there, and let Assad alone. Let Assad alone. I don't know, other than regime change, why the Obama administration was supporting the rebels. We need to cut that out. Our foreign policy is abysmal when it comes to that. We should not be changing heads of state at all, in my opinion. How would we like it if someone came over here and tried to change? And I know that some of my listeners here are going to say, yeah, we'd like this. If someone came over here and tried to remove President Trump from office, or let's say it was still under the Obama administration. How would you like it if someone came over here and tried to do a regime change when Obama was president? You got to ask both questions there. You really do, folks. So, again, look for the links down below. I'll have the White Hat documentary link down below there, and I'll have this article I was reading here. Plus, I'll put the link to antiwar.com, to help you find it quicker. This has been the Dan Clements Show. I'm your host, Dan Clements, your constitutional warrior. Remember, if you aim at nothing, you hit it every time. Have a great rest of the day, folks, and God bless. And we'll see you in the next video. And please, folks, subscribe. Hit the notification button so you know when I put up new videos. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I've gotten both a lot. And I got more thumbs up than thumbs down. Leave a comment, though. Why you like it or why you don't like it. Especially if you don't like it, leave me a comment. I don't get snarky with you. I will debate things with you, but I do not get snarky with you. Please share my videos if you think it might help somebody else understand something. And please, if you have the extra wherewithal to help support this show, I'm still looking for patrons. I'm looking for supporters of the show. I do have a Patreon account. I have a PayPal account. So any amount would help. $1 on up would actually help to help me to build out my studio better, get some better equipment here, and hire some personnel so we can actually do some more videos each and every day. Again, have a great rest of the day, folks, and God bless, and we'll see you on the next video.